Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna do part 2 of ranking US presidents with my dad. So let's get started. So last time we finished at Rutherford Hayes, so now we're gonna start at James Garfield. So what do you think of James Garfield?
Well, first of all, when I think of Garfield, I remember that there was a street in uptown New Orleans named called Garfield, and I thought that was a cool name. And then I had a bird, a little parakeet, and I named him Garfield because of that street, because of the president. So cool name. I don't know much about Garfield. I know that he was assassinated, if I'm right,
On a train station.
at a train station. And I understand he was another Civil War general. He was a Republican, and he was very pro civil rights for the blacks.
Yeah, and he was last video I told you about Death by Lightning, if you're paying attention, and he was the main character there, and so he gave a great speech in the first episode, and that made people vote for him. And he didn't want to get elected. He was actually campaigning for John Sherman, the brother of General Sherman, and. And so he did not want to get elected president, but people started voting for him, and then um, he just um, he just got elected. So
He was from Ohio, if I remember
he was
right.
from Ohio, and he was assassinated. He was pretty young. He was only 49 years old, and his wife Lucretia survived him by another 36 years. So that's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And he didn't last very long. He was only president for 199 days, if I'm right, because he was assassinated like 6 months. So he was president for only half a year. But I think, in my opinion, he was quite a good president. What do you think?
I think so.
So
he had great potential, and he was a good man. He was a Republican.
Yeah, so let's just put him in good. So next is Chester Arthur, and he was also in Dead by Lightning, and he was playing a guy, and he was like in the movie he was like kind of a bad guy at the beginning, but then later he turned out to be like a okay guy, and he wasn't as good as Garfield, even if he survived longer.
Isn't he the one you said was a drinker?
No, it was Franklin Pierce, but
Pierce was the drinker.
But Arthur also drank a lot.
Yeah, so
he once even stayed up to 3 a.m. once, drinking all night.
Yeah.
And so
where was he from? What state, do you know?
He was born in Vermont, but he lived in New York, so he came from New York.
Okay.
So, and he also didn't live very long.
Going back to Garfield, I remember also from that movie, he was fighting that guy from New York, who was like the power broker, because he ran the docks.
Oh, that was, what was his name?
Conklin or something?
Roscoe Conklin.
Yeah.
And he was best friends with Chester Arthur, but then later they were worst enemies. Because Arthur probably went on Garfield's side. But anyway, going back to his presidency, I heard that he I think he made the Navy stronger or something like that. So that's one of the good things he did, but there's also some bad things that he did, and there's like a Chinese Exclusion Act or whatever that was.
Do you know anything about it?
No, I only know it's something about Chinese people, probably.
But Chinese people in America, like those immigrants who were working on the railroads and were all in San Francisco and stuff?
I think so.
Yeah,
might be.
Yeah.
So where do you think we should put him?
I think below average, so let's say bad, I guess.
Bad?
Well, I mean, you think average?
I think he was pretty average because he
Average.
did some good stuff, he did some bad stuff.
I think average, but with a little. I don't know. I'm not impressed.
If
Put it that
if
way.
we had a below average tier, we'd probably put him there.
No, all right. So we'll put him in average and let him be happy with that.
So next is Grover Cleveland, and so he was a Democrat from New York, but he was actually
Now wait a minute. If he's a Democrat, is he the first Democrat since the Civil War, or had there been one or two already?
he was the first Democrat since Andrew Jackson, but also Andrew Johnson was a Democrat, but he wasn't elected by the Democratic Party. So I mean, he wasn't elected. He was
Okay, so Johnson was a Democrat, but he wasn't elected as a Democrat.
he was elected vice president by the National Union Party, so he doesn't count. So he was the first Democratic president since Andrew Jackson.
Well, I have a question then.
Yeah.
Because when Lincoln won in '64, was Johnson on the ticket with him, or
Yes.
were they? Okay, so he won in '64 with Lincoln. Okay, and then Lincoln was shot and died, so Johnson took over.
Yeah.
As president, and then then he didn't win the next election, or did he run in the next election?
And then, no, he
it would have
did
been
not.
'68.
No, he was impeached.
He was impeached, so he's kicked out.
Yeah.
So who took over when he was impeached?
No, he wasn't impeached that he was kicked out of the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
He was impeached, but he stayed till 1869. He stayed till the end of his term.
Okay.
And then Grant was after him.
Okay.
So Grover Cleveland was president twice, but not in a row, because Benjamin Harrison was between his two terms.
A la Trump.
Yeah. And so Cleveland was a Democrat, Harrison was a Republican, but in my opinion, Cleveland was a little better than Harrison, because Harrison made the economy bad. But we're talking about Cleveland now. So
was he from Cleveland?
No, he wasn't from Ohio.
Okay.
I guess it was because I think the city was already there when he was alive. So
yeah. Where was he from? Grover Cleveland.
He was from New Jersey, but he ran from New York.
Okay.
So historians rank him like a little bit above average. So do you think we should put him good or average?
Well, I mean, can we say something about him? What did he do? Grover Cleveland. You said he served twice, so we're judging him on both terms, but they were separated by a term, and so he must have been popular then, if he won twice.
In his second term, there was the Panic of 1893, but it was actually made by Ben Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
So the Panic of 1893 wasn't his fault, but he had to just like Herbert Hoover, he had to fight it. Or
so we're gonna give him a good. I mean, I don't feel it. I don't know, but if he served 2 terms, how bad could he be?
I think his first term might have been better. And did you know that he was married when he was president?
I mean, he got married?
He got married for the first time when he was president.
No, I didn't know that.
So he and James Buchanan were the only bachelor presidents, but Cleveland was married.
Mm-hmm.
So, and his wife was over 20 years younger than him, and his wife's father was his friend,
mm-hmm.
and when he died in an accident in the 1870s, his wife's name was Frances. Frances was a little girl, and Cleveland was her guardian.
Mm.
And then they got married once she turned over 20.
Mm.
So do we put him in average or good?
You choose.
So let's put him in average.
We are an average.
So next is Benjamin Harrison, and do we put him somewhere here before we say something? Or
no, let's say something, because I don't know anything about him. I don't remember Harrison. So he served that middle term between the two Cleveland terms.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Harrison, yeah?
Yeah, and he was the first president to have electricity in the White House. So he had, I think...
But it wasn't called the White House yet.
I know, in the executive mansion, but...
And, okay, what did he do during his presidency? Anything good?
I don't remember much of his good stuff, but I remember he made the economy a lot worse.
Do you know how or why it got worse?
He probably signed something like an act or something,
Okay.
but I just don't
You don't
remember
know.
because he's one of the most forgettable presidents. But I think the most forgettable is either Chester Arthur or William Harrison. But I think everybody remembers him.
Okay.
So and also Ben Harrison's wife died when he was president. So
Wait a minute. Are there two Harrisons?
William Henry Harrison and Benjamin Harrison,
I never
and
thought about
that
that.
was his grandfather.
Ah, it's all okay. All in the family then.
Mm.
I never thought about having two Harrisons. I know Johnson. We got two Johnsons.
But they were not related.
No, they're not related. But what else? Do we have any other twos? So we got Adams.
Adams
We got
and
two
Bushes.
Adams. Two Adams, two Bushes.
And two Roosevelts.
Two Roosevelts. Oh,
We
we got a
got-
lot of twos.
We got 6 pairs, I think. We got
Wow.
Adams, Harrison, Johnson, Roosevelt, Bush, and one more.
Wait a minute. Go through them again. Adams,
Harrison,
Harrison,
Bush, Roosevelt,
Johnson,
and there was one more, but I forgot. Maybe there wasn't one more. Maybe I was mistaken.
Washington. No.
Washington Lincoln.
Okay.
Do you want to choose or do I choose?
You choose because I don't know how to choose.
Okay, so I'm gonna put him in bad because everybody says he's bad, and I know he's bad. So next is William McKinley, and he was also assassinated. So he went to a building in Washington. No, I think it was somewhere in New York. I think he was assassinated.
That was about 1900.
1901.
1901. Yeah.
The year Queen Victoria died.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's okay. So they both died the same year.
Yeah, but he died later. And McKinley thought that I don't know if he declared war or they declared war on the Spanish-American War, and they also fought the Philippines for some reason. And did you know
Well, the Philippines were part of Spain, if I remember, and we ended up No, I don't want to say too much because I remember learning about that, and now I've forgotten all the details. But did we fight in Cuba? Was that like with Teddy Roosevelt in Cuba in that war? We don't know. No.
We don't know.
Right.
But there was a mountain named after McKinley, and then it wasn't, and then it was renamed after him again.
In Alaska?
I think so, maybe.
I think it's in Alaska, and it's Mount McKinley.
Mount McKinley.
Or is it in Colorado? I think it's in Alaska. In any case, you don't change the name. You name something, give it a good name, and then don't change it ever. That's what I say.
Unless it's named after
What did they change it to?
I don't know. I only heard when I heard about that. I only knew they only said it was named after him. Then it was not, and then it was named after him again. But they didn't say what was it called then. Probably just mountain.
Yeah. So Mount McKinley. Good. All right.
And also, I wanted to say, out of his presidency, he and his wife had 2 daughters, but both of them tragically died very, very young.
Oh.
The second one died first. She died a few months after being born. The second one was like 2 or 3 or 4 years old when she died.
Oh, that hurts.
I know, and his wife believed in that reincarnation, I think. That means she believed that she could see her daughters again, but on Earth. So, and she had seizures a lot of seizures.
How long was McKinley president before he was shot?
He served a full term, and then he was elected again.
Okay.
And then he was in his second term when he got shot.
What did he have a good first term? Well, yeah, we talked about the war, but we won that war, yeah.
Yeah, we won that war.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say he's overrated, some people say he's underrated, but he was actually very misunderstood by America.
Most presidents are.
So, where do we put him? Average or good?
I'll go with average.
Me too. So next is Teddy Roosevelt, and is it obvious where we put him, or do we have to?
To me, it's obvious. There's no even question. He's a great one. Yeah.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
That's right. That's right. And he's the one who sent the Navy around the world. When they said you gotta ask Congress for that, he said like I forget how he said it, but he sent the Navy around the world. He was the only cowboy president. Everybody thinks of like Reagan as a cowboy, but
he was just acting.
TR was a real cowboy.
But Grover Cleveland was a sheriff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So does that count as a cowboy?
No, sir.
So no.
And they called him. What do they call him? Not Rough and Ready.
No.
He was the Rough Rider. He was with the Rough Riders going up San Juan Hill. And he was in a bar one time in the Wild West and a saloon. And some guy was making fun of his glasses. And he said something like, friend or fight. Be a friend or fight. And he ended up being friends with the guy. And so he was a good, tough... He did the Panama Canal, yeah?
Yeah. And
so that was a big thing. That's like a huge accomplishment, in my opinion.
I heard it. I heard some little story. I don't know if it's true or was it made up. He once defeated 12 men in a gunfight, and then he loaded his gun right after. So he probably killed the guys with the gun, and then he. So it was probably made up.
I think it's made up.
So, and I heard that both his first wife and his mother died on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
In the same house, but from different sicknesses. Mm-hmm. And they were both very young. His mother was like in her 40s, and his wife was only 22 years old.
Mm-hmm. He was big into sports and physical fitness, and he loved hunting. So I like hunting, and I like sports. So I like him.
Me too.
Now wait a minute. Now, because he was a Republican.
Yeah, he was a Republican.
But didn't he also start a new party, like the Bull Moose Party?
Bull Moose Party, the Progressive Party. No, Progressive Party, I think.
Did he win on the Bull Moose ticket, or did he win only as a Republican?
No, he lost because he ran for president for third term in 1912, but he lost to Woodrow Wilson, and that made him president.
Uh-huh.
And also William Taft also ran in 1912 for second
term. But
term.
I thought TR was pretty popular. I thought he would have been.
He was, but I don't know what made him lose.
He was a trust buster too. So you had the Standard Oil Company, which was basically taking advantage. They were taking control of all the railroads, all the little oil companies, and they were trying to monopolize. And that's called a trust, I guess. And he would bust those trusts.
Yeah.
And that's what became famous. And there was a journalist, something like Turnbull or Tarbell or something. I'm not sure if it wasn't a woman. And she kind of developed a new kind of journalism, like investigative journalism. And I think he knew her, and they might have worked together to bust the trusts and trust the busts. Bust the trusts, that's what it was. So, yeah, that was one of the big things he was doing. Yeah. Okay, anything else about TR?
Yeah, and he was shot. Did you know he was shot?
While he was president?
No, when he ran in 1912, he was giving a speech. He was shot, and he got shot, and then he said something. I don't remember. It was like that. I don't know if you realize that I have just been shot, but that takes more to kill a bull moose.
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the security got the guy who shot him on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Roosevelt asked him why did he do it, and I don't know if it's actually true, but the guy said that he had a dream that McKinley's ghost told him to.
Hmm.
So, so I think it's true, but could as easily be made up.
So he's like Jackson in that sense, that he got shot but he didn't die.
Yeah,
like a true cowboy.
But Jackson didn't get shot. The assassin missed him.
No, I think he had a bullet in him. I think he did get shot in one of those duels. He was walking around with a lead bullet in him.
I mean, but when he was shot when he was president, I think.
Jackson?
Yeah, Jackson.
I didn't even know he was shot when he was president, but I'm talking about before he was president. He fought duels, and I think he had a bullet in him, which might have contributed to his ultimate death, although it took a long time. Because when you have that lead bullet and you get lead poisoning, if you want to take the bullet out. I don't know if it was in him or not. Okay, we got to start reading about this stuff because we're just talking about stuff we don't know. We're talking about TR now. Anything else about TR?
Not really. I don't remember. I don't know if I have anything more to say.
Where he was from New York?
Yeah, he was from New York. Both Roosevelts were from New York.
Right.
Okay. But they were from different parties and different places.
Yeah, we'll get to the other one later. But let's go. Let's go to the next guy.
Next is Taft, William Howard Taft, and he was also a Republican, but not as good as Teddy Roosevelt. But earlier you were saying about that trust busting.
Yeah.
Taft made even more trust busting than Teddy Roosevelt, actually. Okay. And also, he was so fat that reportedly he was stuck in a bathtub, but it was probably made up.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he was like the fattest president, but yeah.
He did weigh over 300 pounds.
Was he the vice president under TR?
No.
So where did he come from?
He came from Ohio.
Okay, another Ohio guy.
And after he was president, Warren Harding appointed him as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. And he enjoyed being Chief Justice more than president, a lot more than president.
Probably, yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, so, and do we have anything more to say about him?
I don't.
Me neither. So, where do we put him? An average?
Yeah.
Okay. So next is Woodrow Wilson.
Okay.
And when he ran for his second term in 1916, he promised that he won't get involved in World War I. And he gets elected, and in May 1917 he declares war on Germany.
Right after he was elected?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, for his second term, I don't know what he did in his first term really, but I heard he did that League of Nations thing, and it helped Poland become a. Wait, did that make Poland a country, or?
Yes, that was part of his 14 points. He had 14 points that he insisted on, and one of them was to make Poland an independent country. So we owe a big thanks, us Polacks owe a big thanks to Woodrow Wilson for that.
Yeah, he celebrated in Europe. And he also signed the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. Was that a good thing?
Well, that was the end of World War I, right?
That was 1919. World War I ended in 1918.
No, but the treaty that ended the war, the agreement was it was not a good thing because it overly punished the Germans, if I remember right, and it ultimately led to World War II. So because it just basically broke the whole German economy. I mean, I don't know. They were the aggressors, so you want to punish them, I guess. But the Treaty of Versailles is not thought to be a good thing because it was too harsh, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, and Wilson was incredibly racist, and he thought he would get a Nobel Peace Prize, but he never did.
Why did he think he would get it?
Because he thought he would be a good leader, that he would defeat the Germans in World War I. But he did not get the Nobel Peace Prize. Teddy Roosevelt got it. Jimmy Carter got it. Obama got it for some reason.
Wow.
But he didn't get it. And also his first wife his first wife Ellen died over a year after he became president, and then he remarried while in office. And his second wife Edith, when Wilson had a stroke and he couldn't do the presidential duties. His wife took over for a little bit.
Was he from New Jersey?
Yes, he was from New Jersey, but he was actually born in Virginia.
Okay.
And so, did you notice that there's a lot of presidents born in Virginia and a lot of presidents born in Ohio?
Yeah.
But mostly from Ohio.
Oh yeah, more from Ohio than Virginia. Those original ones, those early ones.
Early ones: Washington, Virginia. Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, then Harrison, Taylor, and then Wilson finally.
Not Taylor.
Taylor was born in Virginia, but then he moved to Kentucky and then to Louisiana.
Ah, okay. See, I was thinking Louisiana.
So,
more than I do.
So, in my opinion, Wilson would go to trash, but the League of Nations helped Poland be a country, so I think he should go to bad. What do you think?
Well, at least bad. I was going to give him good because Poland is a country. Just for that one fact. But if you want, we can, I don't know, maybe average then. But we got to give him.
I don't think we should put him average.
You think he was that bad?
I think he was that bad.
Okay.
Everybody thinks he's that bad.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So we'll just put him to bad, and we won't put him to trash because of the League of Nations thing.
Wow, Woodrow Wilson. Wow, I can't believe he was that bad. Because he's kind of a famous name. Like everybody hears about Wilson.
Next is Warren Harding, and he made that Teapot Dome scandal happen, and did it worsen the economy?
I don't remember what the scandal was about, but I don't know. Teapot Dome was like dealing with oil or something.
And so he worsened the economy, which ultimately later led to the Great Depression. But before Hoover, there was also Coolidge, but we're gonna go to him later. So Harding did that Teapot Dome scandal, and I saw a guy on the internet saying that it was not his fault. He had nothing to do with it, and actually it wasn't 100% his fault, but it was his fault to appoint his friends to his cabinet, and they would lead to the scandal. And also, but he also did some good things. He supported civil rights, which took a lot of courage in those days. And he also appointed Taft for Chief Justice, and he was a pretty good one. And but he cheated on his wife, so that's why I don't really like him. Actually, I don't like him at all.
Okay.
And he died in office, so
of natural condition or something?
He had a heart attack.
Okay.
But he was going around the West Coast, and he went to a hotel in San Francisco, and then he felt like he had health problems all over the way, and ultimately he died. So, do we put him in? Where do you think we should put him?
I'm thinking bad, but what are you thinking?
I think trash.
Trash.
But there are some good things he did, but he's not my very favorite president, so I think trash.
All right.
So next is Calvin Coolidge, and a woman once interviewed him, and she said that she bets him he can say at least 3 words, and he said, "You lose."
Yeah, it's a famous anecdote. Yeah.
And he was a very cool guy, and good thing his last name was Calvin Coolidge because he was cool. And he supported Native Americans, and what else did he do? I don't remember everything he did, but there was a tragic thing about his son, because he had 2 sons. He had John and Calvin, and they called his son Calvin Coolidge Jr., but that's really not supposed. They oh my God, Coolidge's real first name was John, and his junior son's first name was Calvin. They called him Calvin Coolidge Jr., but he wasn't supposed to be junior because Coolidge's first name was John Calvin Coolidge.
Right, so technically he wasn't a junior, but they still called him that.
It's just like with Hoover's son. Herbert Hoover's middle name was Clark,
Mm-hmm.
and his son's middle name was Charles, but they called him Junior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times they call George Bush Jr. when it's not really Junior, like the younger one.
Well, they have the same middle name, but Senior has an extra one.
Right.
So, I was talking about Coolidge's son. His son Calvin Coolidge Jr. He was only 16. He and his older brother were playing tennis, and he was playing barefoot, and he got some blood poisoning, and he died.
Wow.
I know. And it was a lot more common in the 1800s, but that was 1924, so 100 years ago. So, is there anything we have to say more about him? Do you have anything you want to say?
No.
So, do we put him in average or in good?
Mm-hmm.
Or wherever you want?
I don't know, I guess average.
Okay. So, next is Herbert Hoover, and the Great Depression was mainly his fault, but Warren Harding made the Depression bad, so technically he made the country poor, and then it led to the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
But Hoover's a guy that was responsible for the Depression,
Mm-hmm.
and then later he worsened it, and then he wanted to run for a second term, but he lost to FDR.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I would also vote for FDR in 1932 because Hoover was bad, and we wouldn't know how good Roosevelt would be.
Mm-hmm.
So, where do we put Hoover? Trash or bad?
Bad.
Okay. So next is FDR, and he did some okay things like that New Deal thing, but it did not make the people not poor. And it gave people jobs, but it didn't make the people rich. So it was the New Deal was probably the New Deal was kind of overrated in my opinion. And then he was the president during World War II, and then he ran for 4 terms. He was the only president to have 4 terms.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in my opinion, he wasn't supposed to because of the 22nd Amendment. It said that a president can run for maximum 2 terms, and he ran for 4.
Was it already in there before he ran? Or did that come after him?
I think it was before. I think it was, but weren't the amendments made in the Declaration of Independence or something?
No, not all of them.
Constitution?
Not all of them. No, there have been some like very recently. Yeah, they can amend the Constitution any time. So there have been many amendments. I don't know how many there are now.
Anyway, so what do you think of FDR?
Big mix. He sold Poland down the river. I can't forgive him for that. Son of a
gun.
You
should say son of a biscuit. That's
son
prettier.
of a biscuit, yes. He sold Poland down the river. And yeah.
But I want to say before you go farther, it actually he didn't really want to. Churchill made him do that. So it was.
When how can Churchill make an American president do anything? No, he didn't. He didn't make anybody do anything. Churchill can't do that. You just got to stand up to Churchill and say, no, we're not doing that. We're not selling Poland down the river. Too friendly with Stalin. I can't forgive him for that. But he did win the war. And
actually, Truman won the war.
But, Roosevelt was on his way to winning it. So, and he fought. Yeah, he was respectable. I'll give him what? Good?
Yeah, good. Because he wasn't great. Because he did some
No, he
good
wasn't even
things.
close to great. I'm thinking average or good.
If I
He
in
was there so long, you can't say average. You got to go with good, I guess.
if I ranked him somewhere in a tier list, like from number 1 to 45, I'd probably put him at 13 or 15.
Yeah,
But not even top 10. Where would you put him?
a little bit lower.
Mm.
Yeah, because all that, all that, the public works stuff. I like that. I like the, helping get the poor jobs. Work progress and all that stuff. Um,
Yeah, but there was also one bad thing that he did, and he put those Japanese immigrants to those
that's right.
camps.
He did that. That's right. He did. He didn't do it to the Germans. He did it to the Japs, and that was unfair. And they never did get their houses back. Yeah, and that and the Polish thing just drive me crazy. I just want to. They make me mad, really. So I don't know. I would put him as average, but it's your choice. You choose. I would put him as average. You put him as good.
I'm just gonna put him in. You know what? Let's just put him to average.
No, all right. It gives credence to the average.
I'm sorry, everybody who's watching now and thinks Roosevelt was great, but there's just some stuff that.
Also, he kind of got elected on that name after TR. After
Yeah.
his cousin Teddy Roosevelt. He kind of used that to his advantage.
So probably people think he was good because the Roosevelts were good, but I think only Teddy Roosevelt was great. He was okay, but he wasn't very good. So next is Harry Truman,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you think of him?
See, I think he's better than
Yeah.
Roosevelt. I put him as a good. I like Truman. He dropped the bomb. He had a dispute with MacArthur and called MacArthur home when MacArthur wanted to attack China. If I'm right, am I right about that?
China?
China. MacArthur wanted to attack China and go into China when they were fighting
Japan? Or whom were they fighting?
Am I getting this right? Was it him that brought him home? Yeah, I think it was he had the dispute with MacArthur and brought MacArthur home. And MacArthur came home he was a hero, had a ticker tape parade in New York. But then later, MacArthur ended up dying kind of obscurely, living out of a hotel in New York City, if I remember right. I think he might have died the same year I was born, MacArthur.
So, and didn't you once tell me that your dad interviewed him in his house?
Truman? Yes, he did. He was driving through, Kansas? Was it
Missouri.
Kansas? Missouri?
Yeah.
He's driving through Missouri and stopped in what was his town? I don't remember what town.
Independence.
Okay, so he stopped and he knew that Truman lived there, and he just went to his house and interviewed him. Yeah, I don't know what they talked about, but that's kind of cool. You could just go to a president's house and knock on the door and talk to him. I don't know if you do that nowadays, but that was pretty cool.
I mean, if Carter was, if we lived 20 years earlier, you could probably go to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, but even if you went to Carter's house in Plains, Georgia, it would be surrounded by security. The Secret Service.
I know.
Because they got that for life. Okay, where are we at here? What are we talking about? Truman?
And
what else did Truman do?
So,
he finished the war.
But he started the Korean War, I think.
Right, and that's when MacArthur wanted to invade China. He wanted to go into China. And then he brought him home.
But when did the Korean War end?
It never did. It's still going on.
Really?
Only on paper. They never resolved it or finished it. So now we got a neutral zone between the two countries and guards watching each other. And it could heat up again at any moment, but it hasn't for how many years? Decades. Since the 50s. Yeah, 1950s.
Yeah, and even if they go to war, the South would win because North Korea, every person in North Korea is starving and they don't have energy and stuff. And there plus there's that Kim Jong Un, and he's like a dictator there. He's like a god there, and he doesn't treat his people very well. So I think the South would win.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, you just mentioned the Secret Service about for Jimmy Carter, and Truman was actually the first president to have Secret Service out of office because LBJ Lyndon Johnson signed an act for him and his wife, and. And
Wait a minute, there was also the Truman Doctrine.
Truman Doctrine?
Yeah, because we had the Monroe Doctrine, and then there was the Truman Doctrine. Do you remember what that was?
I think I might heard of it, but I have no idea what that was.
I don't remember either, but I know there was something called the Truman Doctrine. I think. Maybe I'm mistaken. Okay. What else do we remember about Truman?
I heard that when he was in his when he lived in his hometown, he would usually go for walks, and then people would stop and see if that was really him, and then want a picture, and then he would probably go 5 yards, and another person comes to have a picture with him.
Well, he's popular, and he played the piano, I think, didn't
he? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So, do we put him at good or great?
Good.
Okay. So next is Dwight Eisenhower, nicknamed Ike, and so he was president through that Korean War, and he did that. He made that interstate highway system.
Yeah, and that was a great thing.
That was a great thing.
Yeah, interstate.
So, do you remember anything he did in office? Because that's the only thing I remember.
What year was he elected? 52?
52.
So he served 52 to 56?
No, to 61.
He had 2 terms?
He ran twice against Adlai Stevenson.
My mom voted for Adlai Stevenson.
And
first time she ever voted.
And she also voted for Jimmy Carter that one time, you told me.
Yeah. And so wait a minute. So he served 2 terms, and he ran against. He didn't run against Nixon, did he?
Stevenson,
twice. Both times.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was Kennedy ran against Nixon. Okay. So.
Because Nixon was his vice president.
Right.
And did you know that he lived in the Gettysburg battlefield?
He lived in it?
He had a house there.
Oh, in Gettysburg?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Where was Eisenhower from?
He was born in Texas, but he was from Kansas.
Okay. Bleeding Kansas. Good. Okay, so what do we give him?
I think we should put him in great. What do you think?
No, I don't think great as president. As general, yes, winning the war, but as president, I give him a good.
Okay. So next is JFK, and I used to think he was like a great guy, but now I realized about the Bay of Pigs thing, and now I think he's just a little bit overrated. So what do you think about him?
I think Bay of Pigs was a catastrophe, and not only that, but he should get blamed for Vietnam, in my opinion, because he sent like 10,000 military advisors. Why do you need 10,000 military advisors? You need like 1, maybe maximum 5, if they're really just giving advice. They weren't advisors; they were soldiers. So don't play those games with me. 10,000 military advisors. No, he got us into Vietnam, and he gets blamed for that. Bay of Pigs. There was something else. He did manage the Cuban Missile Crisis, and so that's fine. But there was something else about Kennedy. I don't remember now. But in any case, I think he gets too much credit because he was shot and killed, and we got it on video. We got film of it.
And also because of his great speeches, probably.
He did give us. Oh, that's what he did.
Yeah.
Okay, I take it all back because he did do one great thing. He got us learning math and science so we could compete with Sputnik and beat the Russians.
And he said in one of his speeches that we will go to the moon in this decade, and
That's
he
right.
barely made it.
That's right. He did make it, and I remember watching him land on the moon. And so for that, he gets credit. You're right. Okay, so definitely the space race. So he's got like 2 pluses and 2 big minuses. Yeah.
And his family was pretty famous.
I don't care. I don't give any credit for that. What are they famous for? They're just famous for being Kennedys.
I know, but I just wanted to say something.
Yeah.
His father was one of the richest men in the country.
He made his money by selling bad meat to the poor.
I know.
Okay, I give him an average.
And do you think if RFK wasn't shot and won the nomination in 1968, he would have been as good or even better than JFK, or not really?
I have no reason to think that. I mean, to think that or to think otherwise. I don't know. I have no reason to know.
Even if he was president and was a good one, I'd still not like him because he gave drugs to Marilyn Monroe and she died.
Well, yeah, there's that whole scandal too. That whole thing, yeah.
And also, there's a theory that JFK had a romance with Marilyn Monroe.
Mm.
I don't think that's true.
Mm.
And also, I heard that Marilyn Monroe once sang a sexy version of "Happy Birthday" to him.
She did.
She did, and there's a video of that.
Yes.
Yeah, and she looked very old and tired, but she was only 36, and but she was probably sick. So let's put him in average.
Okay.
So next is Lyndon Johnson, and I have no reason to believe he was better than JFK.
Yeah.
Because he worsened the Vietnam War.
Both of those guys started the Great Society, wasn't that it? With the civil rights and all that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And so LBJ once declared war on poverty. I don't know what that was about, really.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Oh yeah, the civil rights thing. But that was him him doing that Civil Rights Act in 1965.
That's right. Yeah, I give them both minuses for that.
So do we put him in average? Because I don't think he was bad. So
wait a minute, I think he was bad. Johnson, I give him a negative. Okay, you put him in average if you want.
Okay, average. So next is Richard Nixon, and people say he was bad because of the Watergate thing, and that was a really tragic. I mean, it was a horrible thing, but there are some pluses for him. I mean, he opened relations with China and the Soviet Union, so that's a plus for him. Yeah. And what else did he do? He
took us off the gold standard, which was a good thing in my opinion.
But he also declared war on drugs, and then we lost. And they lost.
Yeah. Yeah, but he took us off the gold standard. He opened up the doors with China and got us talking with them. He got us out of Vietnam finally.
Yeah.
Which he had promised to do, and he ultimately did it. Yeah.
And he was inaugurated. He became president in 1969, and 69 was a pretty good year. Because of the moon landing thing, and there was that make war not love thing.
69 was a great year. Yeah, make war not love. Yeah. So I'll give him an average.
So me too, because I wouldn't put him at good because of that Watergate thing, and then he would have been impeached if he didn't resign probably.
Mm-hmm.
So next is Gerald Ford, and Ford was actually he was Nixon's vice president, but he wasn't elected with him. He Nixon made Ford vice president, but not by election.
That's right. Ford was never elected, and yet he became president. Spiro Agnew was the vice
Spiro
president, and
Agnew,
he had to resign. But why? Do you remember why?
because he was a bad, because he was a very bad vice
No, but
president.
he must have done something because he did something illegal. I don't know really
He
what it
did something
was.
illegal, but now I don't know what was that, because now I'm thinking about Nixon.
Okay.
So now we're gonna think about Ford, because
Mm-hmm.
now it's Ford, and we only have 10 minutes left. So
Okay, let's do Ford and Carter and be done. Okay. And
okay.
we'll do the rest of the guys tomorrow.
So uh, what do you think about Ford? Was he good or okay or not very good?
I mean, we had the energy crisis going on. Nixon and Ford. This was early '70s and then mid '70s, and we had the energy crisis. My dad lost his job.
Really?
Yeah. We had to move down to Louisiana because he got a job down there.
Oh.
That's why we moved. I don't know. I don't remember anything great about Ford.
Ford pardoned Nixon because he would go to jail or prison
Mm.
for that Watergate thing. But do you think it was good or bad that he pardoned him?
Fine with me. I have no problem with that at all. No.
I don't know what to think about that, to be
No, I mean,
honest.
the president has the right to pardon people, and he pardoned them, and that's fine. I have no problem. I wouldn't want to see. You don't want to see a president go to jail. You just don't. You don't want to. People think they want to see that, but it does not. Does not. It might give you a good feeling for a moment, but it doesn't. It's not a good thing. We don't send our presidents to jail if we can avoid. Of course, if they do something really horrible, okay. But I mean, he was covering up a stupid crime where they broke into a hotel room to steal secrets, campaign secrets. You know, it was a bumbling, stupid crime, and then the cover up was worse, and then, which it always is. And what an idiot! The guy, Nixon had won every state except one. He lost one state to McGovern. McGovern, I think, won his own state, which I don't remember what state it was. I always forget. I always doesn't matter. But Nixon swept the country. I mean, he was so popular, and then to screw it up with a dumb, stupid crime for no good reason. And Nixon's a smart guy. I've heard him talk. You know, just recently I listened to an interview where we were talking about Iran. He was talking about Iran,
Mm-hmm.
and he really knew what he was talking about. You could tell. He knew. He was a smart guy, but
Yeah, and
he had a good. He had who was his Secretary of State? Kissinger.
Kissinger.
Right. It's like, I don't know. It's like, what a stupid mistake they made. Big mistake. Okay, what are we talking about? Ford?
Ford, and
I can't think of anything to say about Ford.
I once saw a short video of one of his speeches, and he said that there is no Soviet domination, and there never will be under Ford administration.
Mm.
So he just made himself look kind of stupid.
I mean, any one of these guys could have fought the Soviets, and we would have won. They were too scared. Okay, go to the next one. So where do we put average?
Average, because there's not very much reason to put him in bad. So
how long was he president?
I mean, Nixon resigned in '74. Ford was only for 2.5 years.
Okay.
But he ran for a second term. But
and he lost to Carter.
He lost to Jimmy Carter.
Okay.
So next is Jimmy Carter, and he was a bad president mainly because of that Iraqi hostage crisis. but maybe not only because of that.
Yeah, well, he did a lot of things. I always think of Carter anytime I hear a garbage truck beeping and waking me up in the morning because he implemented those stupid beeping trucks, and I just hate him for that. So when I hear those beepers on a truck, I think of Jimmy Carter, and I just can't stand him. And then he well, he had stagflation. Stagflation was a new term attributed to the economy under him because it was like double digit inflation and just horrible economy. And it's true, it was bad. And then, yeah, you had the hostage crisis and the failed rescue attempt, which I'm all for trying to rescue him, but man, you got to make it work. Uh, and it didn't even come close to working. And not very inspiring.
So no wonder he lost in 1980. And also, that beeping thing, that garbage truck beeping thing, it doesn't really bother me because when I hear it, I just ignore it. Um, but that beeping has a plus and a minus. It has a plus because if those trucks didn't have beeping, they'd probably crash into a car or something.
Yeah.
So it's helpful,
Very
but
helpful.
it has a minus because it's bothering to some people. It's annoying.
Safety first.
So do we put Carter in bad?
Trash. Absolute trash.
So are we done or do we do one more?
No, let's do the finish tomorrow. We got 5 more to go, or 6, 7.
7. And so yeah, well, let's do Reagan tomorrow because we might have a lot of things to say about him, and we only have just a couple of minutes. So
Okay.
So let's finish and we'll do part 3 either tomorrow or in a few days. So thank you for watching and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.